Last year in February, I contacted the Nuclear Regulatory Commission because I understood that there was a system of what you could call overlapping securities notices concerning nuclear safety at a particular power plant that also cross referenced nuclear safety in Japan. And the same thing that has been happening in this completely fraudulent process of automation for the last 4 years occurred. Well, we can't help you. I had earlier contacted the Federal Register about a typo that was more than 30 years old concerning the Clinton power station. We can't help you. What ended up happening is that benchmarks that were supposed to be acknowledged for that time frame ended up getting diverted or deferred to somebody else. And the person that was supposed to be responsible for addressing them or at least giving an appropriate response to acknowledge, they couldn't help. Nobody wanted to take responsibility for the position that they're in. Now, I have seen several times the Federal Register correct typos and correct errors in the actual Federal Register. It doesn't say that there is a reprint from the agency. The Federal Register acknowledges it corrects typos. I believed that that specific typo concerning the Clinton power station was not a typo. I believed it was a strategically engaged act of nuclear sabotage that has been exploited for over 30 years. And part of the evidence of that was what the Federal Reserve did on the anniversary of the license for that particular power station in October of 2019. I got all the evidence that I need. I saw it that day. I found it that day. I met the benchmark. But currently, what happens is I am prevented from being able to make direct contact with and receive and provide authentic verification with the people I need to. There's always this bureaucratic layer in between that acts as if they don't have any way to help me. And they also don't know who to refer me to. And they don't provide me with a direct contact with who I need to within an appropriate time frame, if at all. And what do they end up doing with that information? What I've seen happen is that it ends up somehow not being diverted to where it's supposed to go in order to create safety for nuclear facilities, which apparently involves what when it comes to the gas and oil sector. But instead, what ends up happening is somebody delivers on hedges set up with their pension fund. That's how literal this is. Now, if somebody is reporting misinformation in the press in order to set up futures, or if somebody's reporting misinformation in the press in order to make it appear that on certain days certain large-scale transactions went through, you got to understand that when that happens, there's also concurrent processes all over the place in HR departments, in payroll departments, loan applications, people saying, okay, today you have the credit, reports of agencies. There's a reason why audits are performed. There's a reason why there are timelines. There's a reason why you're supposed to follow up. I keep getting stonewalled. I keep getting diverted to somebody who absolutely refuses to do their job and provide me with the actual contact I'm supposed to connect with. And then all of this other stuff happens with all of these investment funds and pension funds. Now, last night I was sent a nominal transaction. Why? Especially in the time frame it happened. What I understand is that it fits a scenario that plays out as somebody's bullshit concept of a special operation where she's hot on what we need because of the time frames that are going in order to maintain safety, but we're going to 20 minutes her, which is a national security paradigm that I have been following for years, where the benchmark 20 is associated with an assassination. It is a targeted assassination that is accomplished at a specific period of time, allegedly for national security purposes. But what it ends up showing is a terminating hedge is executed. Well, what are you executing? A terminating hedge on me intercepting a transaction connected to what is supposed to be the pension fund for the employees of the company I'm working at acquiring Tesla. Why would you need to code at 10:43 onto that hits at exactly 20 minutes after I start processing a digest of reporting on this kind of activity associated with the pension fund? Is it because there is an inside job aiding and abetting people at the Department of Energy in sabotaging nuclear facilities and nuclear safety in order to try to extort people into what? Covering up for a terrorist attack orchestrated by gas and oil company because they want to have access to assets they should otherwise have no access to? Somebody got busted on another level. They were trafficking fucking children as proxies for nuclear paradigms. They got busted. They tried to obstruct the evidence. They tried to strong arm people. They tried to bribe their boys and girls and get legal pot going as a diversion for a strategically coordinated dump that was attempting to lean on who? What the hell are you doing sabotaging other processes in this manner? There was no excuse. It was absolutely an inside job at the Department of Energy. And I contend what it is as part of this illicit volley. Now it sounds like the FBI is trying to extort the people of Texas into agreeing to a bribe to cover up for what the Department of Energy and the Texas gas and oil sector through their security fraudsters in the government did to the pension system of the FBI using their daughters and sons, hoping that, well, the DOE already set it up on their kids, and the understanding is the DOE was expecting to be able to lean on the FBI. And the FBI was what? Just supposed to keep their mouths shut? I mean, I'm sorry that we're so far down the road of the FBI agreeing to co-conspire and to cover up that was 9/11. So now all of these assholes doing business through Texas think they have that kind of leverage. But what happened in San Francisco was a pre-coordinated strategic terrorist attack. It's irrefutable. And apparently it was a pre-coordinated strategic terrorist attack aimed at leveraging a Department of Energy audit of Los Alamos. Who got the executive compensation yesterday for the public notice on that audit? That is nuclear terrorism, and that is nuclear extortion. That is completely unacceptable. Why do you have a woman like me being bitched down for year after year after year, sabotaged in every possible possibility I have? I didn't want to be coded to safety at nuclear facilities. What am I supposed to do? Go fuck the next guy you put in my fucking face? That's what you wanted me to do. You wanted me to interfere with an attempt at a peace process in Libya so that what? What do you expect to be able to do? Swapping AOC into CCC in time for Valentine's Day 3 years later? No. This has to end today, one way or the fucking other.